Hello, testing, testing, testing. Okay, good. Okay, why isn't it showing? Cool. Okay. Okay, I think I have everything organized here and I am ready to get started. Please, before I forget, I wanted to just remind you to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this class. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to you about creating a very, very simple 6x6 album. It is very easy to assemble, and the thing I love the most about this is that it lies flat. So it's perfect for mailing. All right, I know we can't mail right now, but at some point we'll be able to again. Now I have to tell you that some of my pages are starting to come apart. I cannot find my score tape. So don't you make the same mistake. Please use a very good adhesive when you are putting your book together. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the sizing of this book. So this one has a 3-inch spine. It's 6x6 this direction. And then each of the pages are 5 7/8 squared. I want to just double check my measurements here that I'm telling you the right thing. Yes. All right. So the very cool thing about this book is that depending on how wide you want to make your spacer and how many pages you want to add, you can adjust this spine and you can just leave this portion the same size. So I'm going to walk you through how I created this one with a 3-inch spine. It has 8 pages in it, and each of the spacers is 3/8 of an inch. If you are not comfortable with the 8 measurements, feel free to make your spacers 1/2 inch. You'll just have to take that into consideration with the number of pages that you're going to put into the book. All right, just going to, if you have any questions while we're doing this, feel free to put them into the chat. Just remember, in order to see and participate with the chat, you have to be signed into your own YouTube account. All right, so let's get started here. I have one sheet of my white cardstock, which will be my cover. And then I have a corner rounder. And this is totally optional. I corner rounded this one, and I like the way this looks. So I'm going to do that again for this next one. All right, I'm going to use liquid glue this time. I'm hoping that this will work better than my tape runner. I also have a backup corner rounder just in case. I've got my trimmer, my paper trimmer, which is also for scoring. So you do need to use both. I have a ruler. There's a pen here somewhere. And I picked out some paper that I've been holding on to. It's from Paper Rose. So beautiful. Right, and I'm going to use this for the decorative cover and for my pages. Now this paper is very thick. It's very sturdy. So I am not going to worry about creating cardstock pages because these will do the trick just nicely. If you are going to be using around a 40-pound weight of patterned paper, I would suggest that you create your book with cardstock base pages and then add your patterned paper onto that as a decoration rather than creating the actual page out of that patterned paper. This was also very heavy duty patterned paper. It's an old Heartfelt Creations collection. Now, I wanted to also point out here that you can add pockets in here anywhere you like. You could do a waterfall with peekaboo pockets or flip flaps. You could make the pages be pockets themselves if you like. There's really no end to how you can embellish these books. All right, so let's get started here. Okay, my measurements. All right, so now for the cover, I'm going to need 2 pieces of paper, my white cardstock. And each piece is going to be 6 by 9. So how I'm going to cut this is cut 9 inches first. Then I have this piece left over. Then I can just cut this in half to make my 2 6-inch pieces. Now I am going to measure this one because this is close to my heart, white cardstock. Yes, I still have a supply, and it's always just a little bit bigger than 12 inches. All right, so now I have my 2 6 by 9 pieces, and I want to score on the long side here at 3 inches. Now remember, this is scoring, not cutting. So I just got to make sure my scoring blade is out of the way here. I'm just going to lightly score this. And I'm going to do the same thing with the second piece. I'm scoring it at 3 inches. So that's good to start. All right, so we're just going to fold these over. And you know what I did not bring with me was my book folder. I just moved my office again. So I'm now in the living room, not in the TV room anymore. All right, so what I've done is I have folded both pieces over on my score lines, and now I'm going to turn them so that I can overlap these 2 3-inch sections just like this. And then that's what forms your cover. Okay, so now I'm not going to corner around these corners. I am going to corner around, just got this one, so I'm still learning how to use it. Pretty sharp. Okay, even this paper, it's 80 pound, and it handles that no problem. So if you are watching this on the replay, if you have any questions to ask me, please feel free to do that. You can leave a comment right here, or you can email me at info@surescrapsalot.com, or you can message me on Facebook. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so I'm going to use my liquid glue. You want to use something that you know is going to be very strong and a really good hold. So I'm just going to go around the edges here. Okay, and then I'm just going to make sure that I'm bringing it up to the fold, but not over the fold. If we put it over the fold, then this part will not move properly. Just make sure that this is firmly attached. All right, that's it. How simple was that? Let's make sure that I've got this all. Okay, so next I'm going to grab my pattern paper. I have not pre-selected any of this. All right, I just grabbed the bunch and you're going to see it as it happens. So now I have to decide what I want for my cover. I'm kind of thinking I might want one of the wood patterns. It's this one and this one. It's the same. Okay, this is just those two. All right, so let's just get this out of the way. All right, so for your cover, you're going to want 2 pieces cut, and they are 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And that will be for your outside. So that'll be here and here. Then you want another 2, same size, 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and that will be for your inside covers. All right, so think about your patterns and how you want that to work. I'm thinking that I want to have the blue on the outside and then the gray on the inside, or brown. All right, so now if any of you are having trouble with reading the 7/8 part, all right, I'm going to bring my trimmer up very, very close here so you can see, and I need a, sorry, just a second here, something I can point with. All right, so if you look carefully, you'll see here, we've got the longest line, that is 1 inch. You can see them all the way across. If you look at the second longest line between each inch, those are the 1/2 inch marks. Then we're going to divide that in half again. And the next shortest lines, those are the 1/4 inch. And there'll be 4 of those, of course, between every inch mark. And then the next one down, so we're starting to get very small here, okay, is the 1/8. So there are 2/8 in every quarter. Now, the very smallest line that we have on this trimmer, not all trimmers have them, is a 1/16. We don't need to worry about 16ths. Trust me. Okay, so I'm going to start trimming. So I want 5 7/8. So that is the last second shortest line before 6 inches. And I'm needing 2 of those. And I'm going to have just a little piece of this left over. I might be able to use somewhere in the book. You never know. Great. Now, to cut. Same here. This is going to be for the inside. And in case you missed it at the beginning, all right, if you want to comment or ask a question, please feel free to do so in the chat. I can see the chat from where I'm sitting. And just remember that you have to be signed into your YouTube account to participate in the chat. Right. Let's bring our book back. These are going to go on the inside, just like that. And these are going to go on the outside. I think I like up and down. Yeah, I think up and down. Okay, so now this is your choice. I prefer to only corner round in all the same places. So I'm corner rounding out here. I did not corner round on the edges here. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my pattern paper. And I'm doing that before I attach. Oh, this paper is really heavy. Will it work? Oh, yeah. Cool. Oh, and then I also forget all the time that this has a little catch-all in it. And so now I'm thinking, which direction do I want this to go? I think I like it just like that. So I'm going to make sure I am rounding the correct side. Okay, that looks amazing. I'm loving it already. Here we go. So I'm not putting the glue right on the outside because remember you have a very small margin of the white paper showing. And I'm just doing my best here to get this centered. It's not a very big margin. I didn't really want a very big one. If you wanted a bigger margin, then what you can do is just change the size of the paper. So if you wanted an 1/8 of an inch, this is a 1/16 that I have showing. If you wanted an 1/8 of an inch, you would just take a 1/4 inch off of your measurement, and then it would be, let's see, that's 2 8 5, 5 and 5/8 for the covers, the two different covers. All right. So I hope the lighting is okay. I don't have my usual setup here for my lighting. It's just too much to try and set everything up when I know I'm going to be moving again, probably in about another week or 10 days. Back to my studio, yay! Oh, and I also wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing another beginner class, and it will be in 2 weeks from tonight. Same time, same place. And I'm going to be doing some work with border punches. All right, I did do a little bit of that at the very beginning when I started with Creative Memories, but I'd like to revisit it now that I'm a little more comfortable with how the border punches work. Well, I hope you can join me for that. Don't forget to say hey. All right, now I'm really paying attention to which part I want to be on the outside of the book, and that's the side that I'm doing the corner rounding on. I want to keep these knots more to the outside of the book. It's so quiet in here. It's been so hectic today. We went out to go to the pet store last night because they have their 10% off Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday of every month. Whoops, boy, I really veered off course there. And our car was dead. I mean, like dead. Oh boy, yeah. So then trying to get a tow lined up and arranging at the car dealership because our car is still under warranty, thank goodness. And then we had the plumber here for most of the day. Our brand new dishwasher is now working. Can we get a yay? Stephen and I were laughing that we were going to have to dirty up some more dishes so we could run it for the first time. We're pretty excited because our other dishwasher was getting old and it did not have the third rack. So that was one of my must-haves with this one, was that we have the third rack. All right. Oh, I'm loving this. But trying to get this even all the way around. Of course, it's always harder to see when I'm on camera doing the Zoom because I don't want to lean over and get my head in the picture. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to say is this is the inner part of your spine. I did not do anything special to mine because for the most part, it's covered up. All right. So You can decide for yourself if you feel better putting the same matching paper inside here that you put here, then you go and do that. All right, I want you to be happy. Okay, so that is that. Now what we have to do now is a piece of pattern paper for the spine. So let's have a look here. First, I thought I might do the other color of the wood grain, but I changed my mind about that. It's on the other side. No. What do we got here? Keep that one. I love this paper. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. No, not the right blue. Oh, okay. I like this. Polka dot is good. Now, you also could do just a piece of coordinating cardstock here if you wanted. Stripes. Okay, it's going to be this. All right, so you want the height to be the same, so it'll be 5 7/8, and then you're going to make the width be 3 inches for the spine, and then 1 inch for either side. So I'll just quickly show you the book again. Where did I put it? Oh, it's folded flat. Okay, so this is how I did it. You've got your 3 inches for the spine, and then 1 inch on the front and 1 inch on the back overlapped. And I just wanted to point out here that I scored this too hard and the paper ripped. So my bad. All right, so I want 3, 4, 5 inches wide. Now this one doesn't matter because the pattern is multi-directional. But you need to keep that in mind when you're cutting out your paper. Okay, and I want it to be the same height as this patterned paper, so 5 7/8. Okay, so it's going to look just like that. Oh, I think I really like that. Okay, so now I'm going to score each side at 1 inch. Okay, make sure my cutter's out of the way. So score. And this will be the first time I have scored and folded this paper. So this will be very interesting. Very gently. Okay, good so far. Oh yes. And I'm just going to give it a little crisping up here with my fingernail because I forgot my bone folder. Okay, and please, if you are joining in late or you are catching on the replay, please let me know. You can like the video, you can leave a comment in the chat so long as you're signed in with your own account to watch this. You can also leave a comment, but the chats I can see right away. Okay, so you'll see I only put glue on one side, and that's where I'm going to start. I'm lining up the fold line of this piece with the fold line of the book cover. And then I'm also lining up here on both edges so that it's the same. All right, now that I've got that in place, just give it a good burnish. Okay, I can open it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to, oh, this thing's getting sticky. I don't know, this one nozzle I have had so many problems with. I'm not sure why, but just have. Oops. Now it's really going to town. Now, if you decide to make one of these books, I really hope you do, because I think you're going to be quite surprised. I would love to see how it turns out. So feel free, you can post in my Facebook. You can leave me, oh, now that's a good question. I'm not sure if you can post pictures in the comments here. Don't know if you can. Just hang on a minute here. No, you can't put them in the chat either. So you have to email it to me or put it into Facebook. But I really, really want to see your finished books. Okay, and then down we go. Now, if I did my cutting properly and my measuring properly, then this one should line up nicely over here. And it does. Okay, so now we're just going to, bend this over. Bend this over. I really wish I had my bone folder here. So we'll just with what I've got. Oops. Okay, now but I kind of had a feeling that wasn't enough gold. Yeah, this paper is, I would say this paper is actually probably about 100 pounds. Now that I'm working on it. Okay. I am so excited that the end is near for our repairs. If you didn't already hear, you're only one in the world that does not know that we had a flood here a few months ago in the kitchen, and it went downstairs into my studio, and we had to have a lot of work done on our house. So it's just finally getting to the end. All right. So here we are. Just check my notes here. Okay, good. We did that. Okay, so now I forgot to talk about the rounding. And so just because I did not punch the corners here or here, okay, I did not do the corners of the spine piece. All right. Okay, so now we get to start on the pages. This is fast, right? Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning, I did a 3/8 of an inch flap. Sorry, I forgot the word. All right, if you are not comfortable cutting on the eighths, please just use 1/2 inch. You'll just have to make adjustments in how many pages you are going to be able to accommodate. Okay, so basically, you have a spine that is 3 inches. All right, so if you are going to go with 1/2 inch, I'll do that one first. Okay, if we were to divide that up by halves, all right, we know we can get 6 pages because there's 2 for each inch. All right, now it's a little more complicated if you're using the 3/8 of an inch. All right, so 3/8 of an inch looks like this. All right, now we know, what do I want to say here? Okay, I'm just going to multiply this by 8 because I know I have 8 pages in mine. All right, so I'm just multiplying by 8. Now, if you don't remember your math, okay, we just put a 1 over that. And then we multiply the top 2 together, which is 24. And then we multiply the bottom 2 together, which is 8. And then we just divide. All right, so 24 divided by 8 equals 3. Okay, and that's our 3 inches. Okay, so you're going to, if you're going to use 3 1/8 flaps, then you can have 8 pages. If you're going to use 1/2 inch flaps, you can have 6 pages. Clear as mud, right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to have a look here. I'm going to see, I have to include this somehow. So I'm going to leave that out. Okay, I really like this. All right, so this is going to be terrific. So I'm going to cut my first page. All right. So I'm just checking my measurements again here. So I said the wrong number, even though I checked. The pages on the inside are cut to 5 5/8. All right, I wanted them to be small enough that you have a nice margin around the outside, and that you have room if you wanted to add tabs, or if you have a pocket on the top, you can stick something in, and you'll sort of see it peeking out just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, so we are going to want our page to be 5 5/8 inch high. That first. And then, now it depends on which size of flap you're going to be using. If you're going to be using, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. If you're going to be using the 3/8 inch flap, the way that I am, right, then you want 5 5/8 for your page plus 3/8. Okay, and that totals 6 inches exactly. Right? If you are going to use a 1/2 inch flap, then you need to piece of paper. Can I just have it here? I hardly have anything on this table, and I still can't find stuff. Okay, I know I just have it. Okay, well, I can't use that. Now that's very silly what I do with it. Okay, I have a piece of note paper here. All right, so I just want to show you again how you can figure out your measurements, okay? So if our page is 5 5/8 wide, and you're going to add a 1/2 inch flap, all right, what you need to do for adding is to convert this to eighths, all right? So 5/8 from this one plus 4/8, and this for adding, you just add the top number. So you've got 9/8. Okay, and then you know that's one full inch plus 1/8. Okay, so we've got 5 plus 1 full inch plus 1/8. And that equals 6 1/8 inch. Okay, that is if you're using a 1/2 inch flap. All right. Okay, so now we are going to do the scoring here, and I'm just going to score this, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just always going to be very watchful of which side I'm doing my scoring on. Because if this was a directional type of paper, like this one, okay, and I wanted it to be in the book in this direction, then my flap has to be on this side. Okay, but for this, because it doesn't matter on either side, okay, it doesn't matter where I'm doing my scoring. So I'm just going to go to 3/8 inch. Okay, move my train up there. All right. And now I'm just going to fold that over. Okay, and I want to round these corners. Just to keep everything consistent. Okay, so I want to talk just for a moment about these flaps and where you're going to be putting them. So you have a couple of options here. when you are putting this in, you can see the fold is here. Okay, I have the page right up against the fold, and I have my flap facing towards the back of the book. Okay, another way you can do it is like this, where I have the page is facing this way. It's right up against the fold. And then I have the flap. Is that the right one? Yeah. I have the flap facing the other way. All right. Now, the thing is you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. Just think about how you want your pages to come out. I wanted a little bit more width in here than I did at the front. All right, so you can see here, once the book is closed, that there's no width at all between the cover and the first page. All right, but on this one here, all right, I have lots of room because I've got the fold going the other way. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if you are going to do a waterfall on these pages, or you want to put a pocket in, then I would suggest you do it so that you've got that nice big space. All right, like that. Okay, and I hope you're not too confused about that. If you are, please let me know, and I will try and explain it again to you. So what I'm going to do here is, because I want to put a pocket on the inside of the cover on this one, so I want to leave some space between the first page and the cover. So I'm going to put the flap on this side. So the page will start 3/8 of an inch away from the front cover. All right, so let's do that. All right. Okay, now you can see I'm coming up just up to the fold for the score line, but not over it. All right, and I'm centering it top and bottom. It's a little bit smaller than the inside cover. All right, and then I'm just going to fold this over and make sure that it will open and close properly. Good, 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 good. Okay, so that's our first one in. Now what I will do here, because I don't like the two different colors side by side, is I'm going to put another piece of some sort of decorative paper here. All right, but there we go. We got our first one going. All right, what's next? So just love this paper. It's going to be this one. So now I want to start at the bottom of the paper because I like all of that snow and the trees. Makes me think of cross-country skiing in the mountains. It's so beautiful. All right, well, this paper is just gorgeous. All right, now I need my ruler here because I want to see. Okay, I brought it. Where did I put it? Oh, I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. I brought it. Okay, so I'm thinking 5.5 inches. And where is that going to take me if I cut it at the bottom? Okay, I don't like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm just looking to see where 5.5 will land. Okay, and I think, okay, first of all, I'm going to cut this in half this way. All right, and I know that I need my length to be 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to cut that in half. And remember, if you are doing 1/2 inch flaps, that number is 6 1/8 inch. All right, this is going to work way better. All right, so I want this one first. And now I'm going to have a look and see where I like. Okay, I think I want to cut it right there. So of course, if you're doing some sort of multi-directional pattern, it won't really matter that much for you. But I just really wanted to make sure I was getting, I'm going to cut a little bit more off the top there. Getting what I wanted here. I said, you're seeing it as it happens, right? Okay, so now I really need to be aware of where my score line is going to go. Right, I want this to be facing the front, not a back page. All right, so I have to have my score line on this side. So I'm going to turn the paper upside down and I'm going to score it 3/8 inch. Okay. Right, and I'm going to fold it this way this time because I want to have a space between my pages. Right, and so it's going to go in just like this, and I will have them. Okay, now that's interesting. What did I do wrong there? This one's smaller. Interesting. I don't know how I did that. Okay, well, we're going to deal with it. Okay. Okay, so I want a space between these two pages. So I want my flap to be on this side. If I wanted my pages to be close together, I could just fold my flap over this way and I could line these up like that and then put the flap on this side. All right, and I cut one of these wrong. I'm just not sure which one. Okay, I actually cut this one wrong. It's too big, but that's okay. I can live with that. I'm making this for me. Okay, and I want it to go this way. All right. So if you're just joining us, please make sure that you like the video, if you do like it, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I haven't done a lot on YouTube because I've always focused with Facebook, but I'm finding that Facebook is becoming more and more restrictive all the time. And so I'm trying to start moving everything over to YouTube. And once they allowed you to start posting, then it was great. Okay, again, I'm going to put another pattern on here because I don't like the two different colors together, but I love those together. Oh my, oh my. Okay, so now for this one, which remember is 6 inches, so it's already as wide as I need it. Okay, and where do I want to cut this one? I think I already know. Yeah, I'm going to do it right from the top, 5.5. Remember, I cut that first one a little bit too big. Okay, and then just let me check. All right, so the score line has to go on this side. Turn this upside down and score it at 3/8 inch. Okay, and now space or no space? I think space. Sure, this is nice and crispy. Okay, and so I'm going to do it the same way I did the page right in front of it. Okay, I'm going to leave a space. I just thought of something. No, I can't do it on this one because I've already marked it. Okay, next page. I just want to show you how you can make a pocket. But I did my fold too soon for that. Okay. So I'm just butting those up against each other. I'm lining up the top and bottom best I can. Okay, and there we have another page. Just that easy. So now we've got 3 pages in here. Okay, on this one here, I want to show you how you can make a pocket page. All right, so I think for this one, I'm going to make it with the opening at the top. All right, so I need to cut another piece, and you know what? I have another piece, a big enough piece here that I could actually use this piece. Okay, so height is going to be 5.5. See how that looks. Even though we don't have the top of the tree on this, it still is beautiful. Oh, you know what I did not do? Just realized not round my corners. Okay, so now this page is going to go like this, but we don't want a space here. We want this to be like this. Okay, so when I put my score line in, I want to fold it the other way. So I'm going to turn this over this time. I'm going to score same measurement. I'm going to score at 3/8 inch, and you'll do 4 or 4. I don't know where 4 came from. You'll do 1/2 if that's the size of flap you're using. Okay, and then this time I'm going to fold it back away from the front of the page. Okay, and I'm going to glue it in like that. All right, so that the flap is on the other side. And what that will do is that will give me the 2 pages right side by side. So there's no space between them. All right, so first I'm going to round my 2 corners. This is well. Okay, and what I'm going to do is before I glue the flap down, all right, I'm going to glue these 2 together. Now, the thing to remember is if you want your opening at the top, you'll put glue here and here. Okay, if you could have your opening from the side, and in that case you would just put your glue here and here. All right, so I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to add my glue. I can put it pretty close to the, oh, I did the top. I guess my pocket's going to be out the side. You can do it pretty close to the edge, the glue, because this piece is the same size as the piece you're gluing it to. All right, I'm just trying to line up all my edges as neatly as I can. And because this page or this paper is so thick, I wanted to attach these 2 together and then glue my flap in, just so that there's a little bit more wiggle room there. All right, so now I want to just fold that down. Okay, and it's going to take a bit of burnishing here because the paper is so thick. But this is going to be awesome. Okay, and of course you're using score tape, so this will go much more quickly for you. And because I wasn't paying attention, I was busy gabbing. Okay, I did not put my opening at the top. Now I have my pocket here on the side. And you can then add in anything you like. So I've got I know they don't match, but I've got a card here, a postcard, could be a photo, and I've got a tag here. All right. Now you can leave them sticking out so that people see them and know, or you can actually attach a tab here if you like. So it's kind of cool to do both of those things. All right, so now you've got a pocket in here. Okay, so I think it's time for another polka dot. So maybe I want to end the book the same way I started it. So I'm not going to use that gray just yet. But, oh man, I'm just loving this paper. Okay, oh, maybe a stripe. Let's look and see. The stripe is pretty in your face, but that might be okay. Especially if there's a polka dot on the other side. Yeah, I think that'll do. Let's see what other options I have here. This paper is so cool. Look at the cover sheet that shows you all the different patterns you have. Look on the other side. It's got little tags. So I just, yeah, impressed. Oh, I think I just changed my mind. I'm going to use this. It's a bit darker, but it's going to look beautiful there. Okay, so I need to trim the bottom off. So if you're watching this on the replay, please make sure to like the video if you do like it. And then subscribe to my channel. As I was saying earlier, I haven't done a lot on YouTube, and I'm trying to change that now. Okay, so where do I want this? The top, down at the bottom. And I think I might do one of each. So this is the up and down, so it's 5.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim this one right now because I know I'm going to do another one. Oh, pretty. So pretty. Okay, so now I need to figure out where I'm going to place these. And wouldn't it be nice if they were a continuation of each other, like a double spread? I think I would love that. Okay, so that means that this one has to get scored on this side. Okay. So that'll be there. And then this one has to get scored on the left side. So I'm going to turn it upside down. Clickety clack. Okay, so now, let's see, I've got this one here. So I'm going to fold it over this way because I want it to go in this direction. Okay, and then I'll talk about that in a minute, what's on the other side. And then this one, I want to go this way. Nice and crispy. Okay, and so then they're going to go in like this. So I've got these two very close together. Okay, and I'll show you the other page in just a minute. Right now, I want to do my corner rounding. Little pocket collector. The other side of this must be getting full. I see some of them are not going in there. This. Now, if I'm just going to put some journaling on here or a photo, this is great. The pages do not have to be separate. They don't have to be far apart from each other. The only time you need to worry about that is if you're going to have any bulk in between. Okay, so this page is going to be absolutely perfect for that, because the way my flaps are going to go, I hope you can see this. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. All right, you can see I have a double width here. So 3/8 and 3/8 is, that's 3/4 of an inch. All right, a nice big space. So if I want, this would be a perfect spot to put a pocket or put a waterfall or use some peekaboo flaps, the clear ones, or flip flaps. Or if I wanted to add an envelope in here with some memorabilia in it, okay, this would be the perfect spot because we're going to have lots of room between these two pages. So you can see how much space, 3/4 of an inch. All right, so let's get busy and glue these in. So you see how as I'm going, I'm just thinking about what I might want to put into this book, and then placing my pages in accordingly. It's just as simple as that. All right. Let's zoom us back. Whoops, wrong way. Go. Okay, so that is lots of space to add in whatever I want there. So make sure it's nice and flat. I love how this is coming together. And you can see how as I'm adding the flaps in for the pages, the spine space is getting smaller and smaller. So let's just make sure I've got this the right way up, and I do. Keep lining it up. Normally my videos will not go this long, but I wanted to show you this entire process start to finish. I just wanted you to know how simple it was to create these. Okay, so we are really moving along here. This is coming along really nicely. You can see that nice big space I've got right here for whatever I want to put in here. Okay, and how nice and flat. Now, of course, it won't be quite this flat once you get your photos and pockets and whatnot in, but oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, and this, where'd it go? Right there. That's so pretty. Isn't that nice how you get that whole scene? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I think it is time for, okay, I think I've got room here for 2 more pages. How many have I got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, so because I have put those 2 together, okay, I'll have 1 less page to use. 2 sides, I guess. I want to get technical about it. Gray. Make sure I've got 6 inches, yes, and 11.5. Oops, oh, I went to throw that in the garbage and there's no garbage there. Okay, so this one doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. You can do the same thing if you want. So remember at the very beginning here, I have a piece of this so that my first page is, well, I'm going to cover this side with something else, but this side is the gray polka dot. Okay, I want to be able to do the same thing on the back. So I'm going to go right to the back now. Okay, and lost my train of thought again. Just a second here. Okay, good. All right, so I want to leave a space here. All right, so I'm going to have to do my scoring on this side. I just want to make sure I'm folding this the right way. So I want the wood to be on that side, and I want the polka dots on this side. So I'm going to fold it this way, yes. Can you tell I'm getting more and more tired? Oh. It's long days. I'm getting too old for this. Okay, so that's going to be terrific. I'm just going to look at these corners. Then I'm going to get my glue. Almost done. So, and here I allowed 2 hours for this. Wow. See how easy, how quick it is? I'm just going to lay that out flat a bit because now I want that space to be towards the cover. So I still want to line that page up with the pages before, and I want to come up to the score line on the book cover, but not over it. That's very, very important. I just want to make sure that this is still looking the way I want it to look. Okay, so we're going to put one more in here. So we've got one space right there. All right, so I think I want to do another pocket, just because I want one at the top and I messed up the last time. So what do I want to use? So last time I used scenery with the wood on the back. Okay, so this time use this one, I think. Just let me double check that before I go ahead. What my options are here. Okay, that one's very similar. Oh, I think I used this one already. Yeah, I think I did. Did I get the houses when I used that? No, I didn't. Oh, no, this is different. Okay, then this is the one I got to use. All right, so I definitely want to get this section right here. So first off, to the bottom. Now, if you like this paper, okay, I actually bought it because it's a new collection this season from Paper Rose, and I got it from Squawk and Bean in Edmonton. So, but I'm sure it's around at other stores, and it is called White Christmas Basics, I think. Yes, White Christmas Basics, although this doesn't seem very basic, but that's what it's called. Okay, so 6 inches is going to take us. Perfect. I'll have asked for any better. Okay, and then let's see. I'm doing 5.5. You know, I think that's going to be just great. That's exactly the way it is. And then I just want to see. So I'm going to fold it this way. I don't need a great big space. I only need one of those. Oh, wait a minute. That's wrong. I'm going to make a pocket, right? Right here. So let's see. I need to put the score line here. So we'll do that first. Okay, and then, you know what might be nice is to use the other part of this. It's kind of like a wash on it, and that's very pretty. So it can just go like that, and it'll look like that. Yeah, that'll be, and that would be really nice for putting a picture on. Okay, so I just need to cut this. Oh. You know, it's time to stop cutting when you throw the blade off of your trimmer. Okay, so I want it to go this way. Just just make sure that's my 6 inches. Yes, it is. Okay, and I think I want more dark than light. So I'll cut to 5.5. Then, so this one I need to fold in like this. Like that. And then this one, I think I'm going to just put the second flap on top of the first flap here. So I'm going to do my corner rounding first. Okay, we're just at a little over an hour to make a whole album. I think that's pretty amazing in my mind anyways. Okay, and if you are just joining in now, or if you are watching on the replay, I just want to make sure you remember that in 2 weeks from tonight, I will be right back here and I will be doing another beginner class for punches. All right, and my beginner classes, they're not your normal beginner classes because most of the ladies that I see at my classes and I see online are experienced paper crafters. So the beginner part, I'll just pull that right up, is the actual thing that we're working on. So this album is a perfect beginner album. Like if you have never made an album before, this is where to start because these are just so simple. And then next time will be the borders. Well, I know you all are experienced with paper crafting. You know your trimmers and your adhesives and all of that, but not so much about borders. All right, so I'm going to do a beginner class for borders. All right, so don't worry about it being beneath you, unless you're a very experienced border punch user. Just holding this down for an extra minute here. It didn't seem to want to stay. Okay, we're good. All right, so now I need to think this through. Okay, and the score line needs to be on the left. And you know what? I think I may not have put enough blue there. That's why it keeps popping up. And I need to punch my corners. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to overlap the flaps. All right. No, this way, I don't overlap. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to even lose my voice here. Good thing we're almost done. Okay. So I want to overlap the flaps going this direction. All right. And the reason why is because I want these 2 pages to be right together. And that way I can make my my pocket. And I'm remembering this time I want it to be at the top. So when I put my adhesive on, don't put any on the top. Just have to remind myself here. Okay, I'm going along the outer edge and the bottom only. And just like last time, I'm going to wait and attach the flap at the end. Okay, good. And that's all I want. I'm just going to go like this. No, no. All right, so now I'm going to get these nicely lined up, starting at the outer edge, because that's the part you see. Good. And make sure this is going to hold both directions. Remember, I have not put my flap down yet. Okay, so now I have my pocket at the top. It's amazing what happens when you pay attention, right? All right. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited about this. So Stephen and I, well, because we live in Calgary, like we have a lot of pictures of winter and mountains and things like that. So that's kind of what I have this earmarked for. Okay. So we have all our pages in now. And remember, we have a few less than I did in this book because I made some pocket pages. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 double sides. So 12 pages altogether that you can work with. All right, and then I've got, okay, this one here is the pocket that's on the outer edge. Okay, this is where I have a nice great big space for waterfalls or pockets or whatever I want to do with it, envelopes. Okay, and then, whoops, this one was, I'm gonna have to put more glue in there, I think. So one bad thing about the liquid glue is you have to hold it till it starts to dry. Okay, and then this one I have, the pocket is on the top. Okay, and I am going to use tabs for this one. I know I'm going to do that. Because I think that will look very cool. And I'm thinking maybe a gray color. Okay, so there you have it. All right, now I'm going to just make sure that these are well burnished. You'll know right away the pages that need the extra burnishing. When you go like this, see this way, it folds beautifully. Okay, when I go this way, it needed a little bit more help. So I gave it an extra burnishing there. All right, that's it, my friends. How long was that? 73 minutes. And that included some talking and talking about supplies and measurements and things like that. So I'd say an hour is all you need to create this amazing little album. All right, so please remember, I want to see your finished albums. I'm very excited. And I will also post pictures of this one when I have it finished. It may not have pictures or photos in it yet, but I will have done the embellishing and everything. All right, so that is it for now. Please don't forget, if you are watching on the replay, to let me know that in the comments. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel. You never know what's going to be coming up. Well, this time you do. You know, in 2 weeks, you're going to get to see lots of border punches. Lots of fun. All right, that is it. Over and out. We'll be talking to you soon.